Hey everybody, welcome everybody. Okay, I can see there are lots of people in the chat already. That is nice. All right, hello again. Welcome to another 30-minute class with Etchr Studio. So, how are you all doing today? If you can hear us, let us know what kind of llama you are today. Are you a happy llama, a curious llama, excited llama? Hey, Alan, llama from Tacoma. Awesome. All right, I think we can be heard by the crowd. Okay, cool. I think we're all set. So, hello again. Welcome to another 30-minute class with Etchr Studio. My name is Kathleen, and I am here, and I'm joined by a super cool artist, Chloe Tomomi, and she's going to bring life to the lyrics of the song. Beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, or today, wherever you are, as she gives us a short walk to Winter Wonderland, because she's going to teach us more on Winter Wonderland watercolor study. So since we're in a topic of holidays, Christmas came early for Etchr. As you may have already know, we are giving you unlimited access to all recordings and any live 90-minute class that's up on our website. So if you're curious about that, I'm going to be dropping the link in the chat for the frequently asked questions. Apart from that, let's see. As per usual, if you have any questions for Chloe, just type them in all caps. Hey Beth. All right. I've got the chat filled up very quickly. That escalated real quickly. I guess they're pretty much excited with what you're going to be bringing today, Chloe. Yeah, so we don't expect you to follow along today, but if you decide to do so, keep an eye on the chat. I'll be dropping some links there for the reference photo and our private Facebook group if you wish to upload your artwork there. Apart from that, if you like what Chloe will be teaching today, she has a 90-minute class. I'll be dropping that link and in the chat, so keep an eye on that one. And without any further talking on my end, I need to shut up. I'll give the floor to Chloe to let us know what we're going to be doing today and introduce herself and maybe just a short glimpse of what we're going to be doing in the mini workshop too. So Chloe, take it away.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super excited to be teaching this. I haven't taught in a very long time, so I'm very, very excited to be teaching today. So today we're going to go over value studies, and just full disclosure, I'm like the kind of artist who does not like value studies at all. Like I was the kind of person who was like, I have too much passion and inspiration and I don't care. I'm just going to go paint. And then sometimes it would work out and then sometimes it would be like, ooh. So I studied under some really great watercolor artists and they really drilled into me the importance of value studies, and I kind of started to get obsessed with them. So yeah, I'll show you a few examples real quick. So here's one I did of a beach in Hawaii, and as you can see, it's so small, but it's enough to tell you that this is, you know, people on a beach. And I don't know why, but I just love this, and all it is shape and value, and the fact that we can get so much out of just something so simple blew my mind. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. What's another example here? This was an old man walking to a trash can in a park. I didn't paint the trash can, artist choice, but yeah. And then here's driving down a road in Kaneohe in Hawaii. I don't know if any of you have been there. And then here's like a little winter river scene. And then here is the one we're going to paint together today. So most of the time you want a reference photo or you want to be there in person, but there's like a lot of ways that you can just do this on your own. So if you go to a place and you kind of remember it and you want to paint it, but you don't have a photo of it, I think there's just a few principles that can actually get you there. For example, the sky and parts of the ground will probably be the lightest things in a value study. And then the further back something is, the lighter the value will be. And then the closer you are to it, the darker it will be. And so if you can think about where the highlights will be, where the shadows will be, you can actually get away with making up your own stuff, especially if you're into painting like more fantasy stuff from imagination. Yeah, so those kind of skills can come in handy. So today we're gonna just go over this, and I'm gonna share some tips that I've picked up along the way. And yeah, let's get started. So first I'm just gonna sketch it. I'm not an artist who sketches really intricate things, mostly because I'm lazy. I will continue to say that. I'm just a little lazy. But the thing is, especially with landscapes and watercolor, you don't need that much detail in your sketch to make something convincing enough, which I really love. So I always start with the horizon line, so maybe around here. You never want to have your horizon line in the very middle, because then it splits the picture in half. So if it's like 1/3 the way up, down, then you have a good start already. So that's 1/3. And then I'm just going to draw in the mountain, and then maybe like a little forest area here. There's like a little tree here. And again, like if you draw this light enough, even if you just draw like a cone, it doesn't really matter. You're the only one who's really going to see that. It's just whatever is going to help you. So I just keep it very simple.
Sorry, Chloe, will
Yeah.
it be possible to make the lines just a wee bit darker so
Oh,
that
sure.
everybody can see? Thank you so much.
Sure.
Hey.
Usually in a painting, you don't want them too dark, but
Right.
yeah, if no one can see, that's totally fine. I will darken them. Okay, there. And then I'm going to bring the hill down this way. And then I'm just going to draw some random geometric shapes here. Doesn't matter too much. Just some rocks on the hill. Maybe little ones here or there. And then I'll just know that there will be a tree here. I won't draw too much of it because I don't want the pencil lines to show a little later when I'm painting it. So I'll just put a little indication there that the tree will be in that area somewhere. And really, that was it. It's not too bad. Just keep it simple, and that's really all you need to do. You don't have to draw every leaf or every tree. It's just not necessary, which I love. I love that because I'm so lazy about it. Okay.
That was quick. Yep.
Yeah, it's a quickie. It's a quick one. Okay. So now I want to start thinking about values. So if I bring back my value study here, the sky and the ground, especially because it's covered in snow in this painting, are going to be the lightest parts of this painting. So the first thing I like to do in any painting, even if it's just a value study, is I like to get the atmosphere going. So usually what I mean by that is wet into wet. So making that very soft texture of the sky, and then maybe getting some shadows or softness in the snow, and then letting it dry, and then we can come in with the other tones. So why don't we get that wet into wet process started now. So as you can see, this is a lot lighter. I'm using Indigo. You guys can use any paint really, but I find that Indigo or Paynes Blue Gray, Neutral Tint, those are really the ones that work best for me. Even sepia would be nice if you have sepia. But anyway, I'm using Indigo, and this is going to be a very, very light, quick wash. I'm just going to charge color into the wet paper, and then I'm going to add a little more color to the top, and then I'm going to let it be. I'm not going to fiddle with it too much. I'm not going to mess with it. So yes, very simple. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to get some, I'm going to get some water on my brush. I'm using a Princeton round, I believe, number 10. I think the number really faded away, but just in case you wanted to know. It's kind of a fatter brush. It absorbs a lot of water, so anything moppy that you have will work. So I'm just going to go into my Indigo and start creating a very, very light mix. And if you're not confident with your values yet, you can always bring another paper out and just do like a test. So that's probably too light. So I'm going to go a little darker. Let me try now. That should be okay. Okay, so I'm going to move that away. And now I'm going to get a big hake brush. So very flat, very good for creating a very wet surface without getting puddles. So I'm going to get my hake brush and dip it in my water. Then I'm going to go ahead and come in here and I'm going to wet the whole thing. I'm not going to worry about preserving any highlights yet. I'm just going to get this whole thing wet. So usually just going over it with water one time might dry up too quickly in some areas. So I just go back into my water, take some of the water off on the edge of the cup. Then I come back in here and I just go over it again. And then take a look, like move your body, do a little swirl, and really look at the edges, look at every piece of the paper, make sure everything looks pretty even. Then I'll come in here and wipe up the edges.
And while you're at it, Chloe, will it be possible to also kind of refocus, because maybe the paper might be a bit too bright for the camera?
Oh, sure, sure, yeah.
Thank you so much. Just a tap, maybe that would do.
Hello.
But I think, yeah, that's cool already. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
it goes in a way.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. Well, my paper dried up a little bit, so I'll just go back in there a little bit. It's chaos when you're painting live sometimes. It's like, oh my god. Like, I can make all these mistakes by myself in private, but then when I'm like doing it in front of people, I'm like, oh my god. Okay. So my paper is ready to go. And I'm going to go back to my fat brush. Okay. And then I'm going to move this to the side because I'm going to be tilting my board. So I'm going to tilt it a little bit. And then I'm going to come in here. And I'm just going to start feathering in, not everywhere, just some places. And then I'm really going to lean it upwards. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to let all the paint run down on its own.
Yeah, so that's a pretty
if I bring
color
this back
over there.
in.
Yep, cool.
So then I'm going to go in with a little more dark paint so I can get a little more contrast in the sky. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to lean it back up again and just kind of dab in here. And just get it in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to tilt it all the way back up. I'm going to let the paint run down. And then I'm going to bring my paint palette back so you can actually see it.
Cool, yeah.
And then there you go. The sky paints itself, really. So you're just adding some color and then letting the water play with the paint. And then for the snow, just gonna get a little of this, maybe add a little more water. And I'm just gonna come in here and just add some shadowy areas to the rocks, and it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. We just want some type of softness in the snow. And that's really about it for the sky and the snow, for that building that atmosphere. So just for the sake of being live and having a time constraint, I'm going to go ahead and dry this real quick.
Cool. And while Chloe is doing that, we've got a couple of curious questions in the chat earlier about the new platform. So yes, you can definitely have access to all live 90-minute classes. If you subscribe to our link, I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat, including Chloe's. So if you want to show her support, your support to Chloe's, go ahead and do so. Apart from that, you could still have like, oh, sorry about that. I think I thought it was out of focus again, but let me go back to some of the comments which we have missed earlier. So we've got Warm Llama. Everybody, hi from Australia, hi from Canada. Yay, Chloe, my favorite watercolor artist. Llama from Montana, USA. Okay. Awesome, cool. I think it's almost dry. All right, let's wait for Chloe then. So while we're waiting for Chloe as well, let us know in the comment section below, where do you get your winter Wonderland scene inspiration from? So is it somewhere near or like a favorite place of yours? So I don't know where Chloe got hers, but let's figure out. Okay. All right. I guess we are. Are you guys following along? We love the wisps of the clouds over here. It's pretty nice. Okay, Chloe's back.
Hello, I'm back. So now the first layer is dry, and now we're going to go into painting the mountains. We're going to leave a few highlights for the tree, and we're also going to come in and draw the base shapes of the rocks. So let's go ahead and do that. So this time I'm going to use a smaller round brush. Let me see. Maybe Etchr. I'll use Etchr round size 12. I also really love these brushes, just saying. Just in case anyone was like, maybe I should buy one. I recommend. I do like it a lot. It comes to a really nice point. So like sometimes round brushes don't do that and it's a little frustrating. So I'm really happy that these brushes do that. Okay, so we're gonna come back in to our indigo and start mixing some. Add some water. So anytime it gets too dark, just add some water. Anytime it gets too light, add some paint. And then if you're worried about it, you can always like test first. So I think I'm gonna make it just a tiny bit darker. Yeah, I think so. I think that's about it. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna come in from the side, and the key is I want to continue the shape without stopping if I can. So that means before what I put down dries up, I want to continue it across the paper as much as I can, because that will create this harmony, and it will also be able to let you connect shapes. And so I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to start here. And don't worry about this dark forest area. We're going to paint right through that. Okay? Okay. So I'm just going to come in here. You see the paint is very wet. It creates a little juicy bead right there. That's where I'm going to keep taking the paint from. And then when I want to create little highlights on the tree, I'm just going to take the tip of my brush and just kind of dance around. I'm just going to poke at it just a little bit. Okay, let's bring it down here before it dries. Gotta keep your eye on that. Okay. And then I'm gonna paint right through the tree. Just create some paint there. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to paint the entire tree at this point. We just want to get them connected. We want the shape to flow. And I think it's also really important to remind yourself that you're not really painting a tree right now. You're not really painting mountains. Really, what you're painting is just one big shape. And I think that will really help get your head out of like needing everything to look perfect. Like, that's not what a tree looks like. No, it's like just look at the shape and just trust that. And then it will pull you through in the end. Right, so I'm just creating like this interesting rectangle that kind of slims down this way and then goes into an elephant trunk. That's really what I painted there.
Oh.
Okay. And then go in here and just get some shapes going. They don't have to be perfect. I just want to lay the base here. These are very simple rocks, so you don't have to worry too much. Just draw some blobs, some geometric looking blobs, and it'll carry you through.
Yeah, and it's I think we're gonna it's gonna come together later on, which is the best thing about it. We're pretty much excited how it turns out. Yep.
Yeah, isn't that so interesting with painting? It just looks so bad for like most of it, and then right at the end, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like, oh, you're cool. Oh wow, I did
Yeah,
something
like,
here.
you know what? Actually, you cool painting. Yeah, oh, we get along. Yeah, but then the entire time you're just like doubting yourself, like, oh
Yeah.
my god. No, just like trust it, relax. Like, if you know that you're putting down the shapes that you see at a pretty close enough value, it doesn't have to be perfect. I feel like we put so much emphasis on everything needing to be exact and perfect. It doesn't need to.
All right.
So as long as you get it close enough, I really think it will work. You don't have to worry too much. Okay, so I'm going to dry this now. It's going to dry a little lighter, and that's what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and dry it. I'm going to put myself on mute, okay?
All right. Thank you so much for that, Chloe. And so far, I agree with Trish. It's a good testament for doing a value study, like by doing just the simple landscape that we've got, Winter Wonderland, as we've mentioned. So, we've got a couple of inspiration. I'm just going to read back through some of these answers earlier. Where do you get your inspiration from? So Laurier says you get to visit Tahoe City frequently. That's nice. Patricia says from her backyard, also from old farms in nearby southern Maine. All right, that's super cool. It's pretty much accessible for you guys then. And let's see, other answers over here I'm missing. Let's ask Trish. Oh, Trish is cool. Oh, sorry about that. Let's ask Chloe later on where she gets her Winter Wonderland inspiration from, because she mentioned she's from Hawaii. So that's pretty something that we might be curious about. Hey Thea, lovely sky. That's cool. And while we're doing this, maybe we can talk about just a bit of Chloe's mini workshop. It's going to be a 90-minute class. It's a step-by-step process, and you're going to be expanding on the things you'll learn in this 30-minute class. And you can sign up through that link. I'll be dropping that link again if you've missed that earlier in the chat. And I think it's dry already for Chloe. Go ahead, Chloe.
Hello, I'm back. Okay, so we painted the background mountain area. We painted some of the rocks. And now we're going to go in on that tree and that forest line. Maybe a couple little baby trees poking up here. It does not have to be exact at all. And that's actually one thing I really want to talk about real quick, is that the less that you give the viewer, the better they're going to connect with your artwork. And what I mean by that is our human brains fill in things for us a lot. So we really don't need a lot of information to understand that, oh, that's probably a mountain back there. Oh, this is a tree. These are rocks. Even if they don't look exactly the way they do in real life. Because your brain is just so smart, it's going to fill in those gaps for you. And so I think in painting, if we're constantly trying to paint every leaf, every tree, every small detail, you're not really going to give enough space for the viewer or even yourself to make it personal, to create, like, for people to like create their own personal connections to what your painting means to them, or being able to identify themselves in it. And so that's why I really like value studies, is because it forces you to become very, very simple. And it forces us to go against that human nature of wanting to get everything perfect, to make sure everything's there. Like,
Oh yeah.
we have to really work against that, because it kind of works against us if we don't work on that. So that's why I think these are so important. Okay, so enough of that, but I'm going to go into this little tree line here, and I think I'm going to start getting some shadows into the rocks. Okay, so let's get
Cool.
that started. So I'm going to use the same brush, the Etchr size 12, and this time I'm going to go a little darker.
And this is still the Paynes gray indigo color,
this is
right?
indigo. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm using one color the whole time. Yeah. So again, like, if you put way too much paint on the palette, don't freak out, just add some water. If it's way too light, just add more paint. It's supposed to take the stress away from you.
It should,
Okay.
definitely, yeah.
So that's way too light. So I'm going to add more paint. Let's try it now. No, needs a little more. Okay, how about now? It looks exactly the same. Fantastic. Okay, let's try again. Okay, let's give a little more.
It's fine, it happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to start creating a blob.
Okay, let's see.
I'm adding a little water because I think it actually was a little too dark still. So now I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to try to work around the highlights a little bit. I don't need to preserve all the highlights I made, but I do want to use them if I feel like I want to keep them. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and just start creating just little marks to indicate that there's a little dude living here. Get more paint. I can see it's drying out, so I'm going to add more paint. Then I dab my brush off, and then I'm just going to scrape it across and just go quickly. Maybe add a little here and there, get a little texture and fun going. I just want to continue it. That's really all I care about. Maybe while this is still wet, I can come in here and just give a little indication that maybe there's other trees trying to live their lives. Okay, and then we can come back in later and add a little more. But right now that works.
Yeah, it looks cool already. It's coming to life.
Yeah.
You're adding depth to it, so that's pretty nice.
Thank you. So now for the shadows of the rocks, it's so simple. Like, we're doing very, very simple rocks. So I just do like lines across the bottom, and maybe I curve upwards sometimes, but it, just like keep it simple. So maybe like that, and that's all you need. And then we can come back and make that darker later, but just to get it started, I think is fun. And it's so cool how like immediately you put that down and it becomes um, like a more
Life.
three-dimensional object. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very, very simple, like nothing complicated here. We're just putting some values and shapes down.
Hmm.
Okay. So
And
I
since
know,
we're sorry about that.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, since we're in a topic of values, and these techniques that you're teaching us, can you tell us more about what you're gonna be teaching in the mini workshop?
Oh, yeah. So um, I will be teaching this, how to paint
Ooh.
something like this in the mini workshop. And I'm really excited about it. Yeah, so pretty much very similar techniques, starting off the painting with that wet into wet, except we'll be using color this time, something warm and cool put together to create this glow. And then when it's still wet, we'll put in the distant trees. And then when it dries, we'll put in this these other trees here in the middle. And then when we come forward, we'll paint this darker tree and some rougher textures to indicate detail, closeness, and also just a rougher terrain. So it's this play of like soft textures with rough textures, warm colors with cool colors. And we'll actually add snow this time. So I think that would be really fun if you guys wanted to join.
Yay, that looks so cool. Building on these techniques and
Awesome.
expanding in them. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself and dry, and then I'll come right back.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Chloe, for sparing us from suffering from the loud noises of what do you call this, a hair dryer or what. I'm just gonna read some comments for Chloe over here. I think you might want to hear them or see them. So Trish has shared her experience about her being painting since her painting since COVID started, and she's less than enthusiastic about doing tone value studies. But right now, I think she's sold. You definitely snatched her from not go trying painting, and we definitely agree, Trish. It has so much dramatic mood, what Chloe has shown earlier. So yeah. And I've dropped that link in the chat where you could sign up for Chloe's 90-minute class. Again, it's a step-by-step process. December 21, Sandra, that's December 21, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe that's Tuesday. Let me double check that one for you. Thanks for asking. Let me just go ahead and double check. And let's wait for Chloe. Oh,
Hello.
Chloe's back. Okay, all right.
I'm back. Okay.
Good, cool.
So moving on, I'm just going to add a little more texture and value to this tree line. I'm going to come in here and draw this very dark, bold tree, and then I'm going to reinforce the shadows on the rocks. So now I need the mix to be darker, much darker. And this is going to be pretty much the darkest thing on the paper. And now I'm also using a smaller round brush as well. So I was using a 12 and now I'm using a size 10 round because I want to really get the delicate form of the tree.
So, Chloe, I've asked some of our audience right here where they get their Winter Wonderland inspiration from. So, since you mentioned you're living in Hawaii, where do you usually get these inspiration from?
My dreams.
Aw.
My dreams. I dream of winter. I think my friend Julianne is in the audience right now, or she should be. She's gonna watch this later and be like, "Oh my god!" But she lives in a very cold climate, and whenever it gets like 68 degrees here in Hawaii, I'm like, "Oh, it's so chilly," and she's like, "Shut up! Oh my god, be quiet!" And that just makes me laugh. So. No, it's all dreams. Like I've only seen snow. I've never actually played in it.
Oh, I think she's here. Leafling learns. She said, "Hi, I'm here."
Hey, what's up, girl? Yeah, that's my friend. So I can't think of winter without thinking of my friend Julianne. So
That's just so
partly
sweet.
Julianne, partly my child dreams. So yeah, maybe that's not
That's so
like the
sweet.
most amazing inspiration, but it works for me. Okay. So now I'm going to go into the tree. So some people draw the bark all the way down as a guide, and I think that's okay, but sometimes it tends to dry up on you before you get down all the way, and it can kind of look separated and create disharmony. So I like to just do it little by little. So um, I'm going to go very, very gently here, and I'm just going to tap and create just random shapes. So bring this over here for reference if you want to look. So just very, very random shapes with the tip of your brush. And I don't like to paint a full tree, although this one is very full. It's in the distance, so it makes more sense. But when you're painting something more up close, trees are fat, some are skinny, some are very full, some are very like in and out. Like some places are more full than others. So I try to stay true to that and leave some spaces fuller and some spaces empty, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And just a quick time check, we're 38 minutes from our live, and look what we've already accomplished. Like, as Kitty has mentioned earlier, instant 3D.
Oh, sorry. I went over time.
Oh
But
no, that's fine.
yay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we are gonna be finishing this painting. So super cool. So and
Awesome.
people in the chat are just sharing about snow experiences. You might want to go back to the chat later on after this live. Chloe,
I
it's super
will.
fun.
I will. Tell me about it, guys. I'm so naive. I don't know. I don't know. I want to know. Okay. Okay. So this one came out more bushy than my other one, but that doesn't matter. Every tree is different. I don't judge. It's cool. I'm all inclusive with my trees. Um, so putting this here, maybe it spills over the hill a little bit, so it's like it's actually on the hill.
That's pretty cool.
Draw a few branches there. And so there you go. You have a tree that's a little more close. And it's just crazy that just very simple shape and value is able to bring something forward or push something back, which I just find watercolor is so cool to do that with. So I'm going to go back in here and try to reinforce these shadows a little bit. Just quick movement. Don't think about it too much, just go. It's okay if some of that other layer of shadow still shows through. That gives you more variety and value, so that's welcome. Just didn't do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in here, maybe dab it on my towel here, and I'm just going to start rough housing it back here and just creating these rough textures just to give the feeling of just something happening there without having to paint every bush or tree. And I'm just going to come in here and just reinforce the shadows on this tree, which is most of it, but I want some highlights to still be there. So I'm just putting that in there. That's not really something I did in my other value study, but I feel like scraping across the page at far distances just gives you this layer of distance. So
Oh yeah,
that's
it
what I
does.
did. That was just my instinct to do that. So I went ahead and did that. Let me just add a little more stuff down here. Okay, and then really the last thing to do is to create just very, very light shadow work. So just to add a little more body to the snow, we're just going to go right back to like the lightest value. We could have done this earlier, but I kind of like to do it when the rocks are done, because then you have a better feel of like where the shadow should be, and I don't know, it just makes a little more sense in my brain to do it that way. So now, oh wait, I should actually dry it first. I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries then. And I'm just gonna read. There's just this one nice couple of nice comments actually in a chat that I think I'm gonna read out to you. MK says it's beautiful the way she's painting the trees. Definitely. So if you want to sign up for her 90-minute class, I think she may be delving deeper into those strokes. And then, of course, lots of stories about snow still. Again, Chloe will be looking into that later on after our live stream. So let's see. And I think I saw someone earlier saying he or she's from Australia and they don't get much um, snow. Definitely, you're part of the team then, the tropical team, I guess we could call it. We usually dream for snow, snowy Christmas. But yeah, I think you can definitely, just like Chloe, get inspiration from your friends, your photos, just like you shared in a chat. And I am going to be dropping a link to a quick survey. You might want to click on that real quickly. If you love what Chloe is going to teach and how she teaches, let us know. If you want to bring her back for more and more and more classes in the future, let us know. And I think Chloe's back.
I am indeed back. Hello. Um, so the very last thing, right? Just adding a little body to the snow, and then we're done. So I'm going to go back to my bigger round brush. This is a size 12, Etchr. I'm going to bring out my test paper. Sometimes you guys ever figure like your water is so dark already that sometimes it just, you can paint with it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm going to just test it out and see where it's at. Too light. Okay, good to know. Okay, so it's too light. So I'm going to go back in here, go into another well, and just start adding some water. Very, very watery mix. Let's see how that's going. That's too dark, so I'm going to keep adding water. Okay, let me try now. That's good. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, some of it got in there. Okay, it's still good. All right. All right, so I'm gonna get my towel here, and I'm gonna make sure the handle is dry, and I'm gonna dab it a little bit, and then I'm gonna come in here and just, I'm gonna test. Let me see. I'm gonna quickly make a motion, and I want this texture to be rough, because it's not really gonna create sparkles in the snow, but it is gonna create some sort of texture. Like we're not just, this isn't an exactly smooth surface like a table or like a piece of marble would be, but it's, you know, it has substance to it. So let me do that again. Oh, I had too much on my paintbrush. That's okay, just dry it off. And now I'm just coming down and doing it on every rock, dabbing my brush, and then coming in here with that rough texture. Maybe a little back there, maybe a little, maybe just right there in the corner. And that's it. I'm not gonna, wait. Okay, now that's it. I'm not gonna touch it after that. And I think that's enough, especially because value studies are so simple that that's really all you need. So that's it. We did it, guys.
Oh, wow.
And then this is the best part.
Oh,
Am I
of
right?
course. Tape peeling.
It's the best.
And why? I'll let you guys enjoy this tape peeling
ASMR.
moment. Yeah.
Here's the last of it. Oh, that's amazing. And there
Oh,
you have
wow.
it.
That's super nice. Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everybody. I'll just go ahead and bring you back in. All right. And that has been a really she makes painting so fun and lighthearted. Definitely, we totally agree. The chat has been very active, Chloe. Just to let you know. And just a quick correction. We've got a bit of a confusion at the back end, but Chloe's live demo is going to be on the 22nd, not on 21st. I've just confirmed with our admins about it.
The mini
And
workshop.
yep, the 90-minute class that's going to be on the 22nd. On 4 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you so much, Sandra. By the way, I remember her asking. So and this is what you guys are going to be painting. Like, look at this! Wow, with all of those light and the hand movement just makes the majestic. I don't know, even more majestic. So I'll go ahead and drop that link still in a in the chat. All right, and I'm gonna be dropping a bulk link just to let you guys know. This includes the link to the 90-minute class, survey form. Let us know how Chloe did today, how we did today. If you want her back, more of Chloe in the future, let us know. Chloe's Instagram account, so you could go ahead and tag her if you followed along today. And some questions or frequently asked questions about our new platform so that you'll be able to be clarified about your thoughts. So, I think, are there any questions? I think we can end the session if there are no more questions, or let us know, you guys. Great. Okay, I think, Chloe, I really recommend you going back to all of these. um, Comments right here. I won't be able to read them all to you, but it's such a lovely chat over here. It's like sipping tea with, your friends, just like that. So more of Chloe would be great, definitely. Okay, let us know then in the chat. So, um, oh, hey Pierre. If you've missed it, no worries. After this, after we've end the broadcast, we're you can definitely use the same link and stream it. You can watch it over and over again. It's always available on YouTube, so no worries about that. Okay, so I think we can wrap up for that. Again, thank you so much, Chloe, for your timely demonstration, and thank you everybody for joining us today. Any parting words, Chloe, before we finally, sadly, end the session?
Yes. Hello and goodbye, I guess. This was really, really fun. Um, I think I said this earlier, but I haven't taught in a very long time. A lot of stuff went down this year. So just being able to have the opportunity to paint with you guys today and just chat meant a lot to me. So thank you so much for showing up. And thank you to Etchr and Kathleen for being so sweet and wonderful. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. And I hope that you can join us for the mini workshop. If not, I really hope that you continue painting and enjoying your art journey. And I really hope that you'll be able to still express deep parts of yourself through artwork. I hope that and wish that for all of you. So thank you for
Oh,
coming today.
What a great way to end this session. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. If you've followed along, Chloe, go ahead and tag her, hashtag Etchr Studio, and tag her on Instagram. I've placed that link in the chat. And until next time, make more art, everybody. Bye for now.